What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another video. So today I just wanted to make another video of how I draw my zones. So I did one of these a little while ago, but I still draw them pretty much the same way now, but I incorporate a few different little things that I think are important to add in here and just kind of get an updated version of it anyway. So hopping right in, I did also get a haircut, by the way, if any when you guys notice. It's been a while, kind of long, for like 2 years, but anyway, hopping in, let's start with a clean chart here. Let's get it to, there we go. So hopping into the hourly is where I like to start. So any key areas where I see like a reject point like this, any big areas of imbalance, any areas that get used as demand and then flipped into supply, any areas like that I like to have marked out. So something like that zone there, have that get marked like that, and then something like this zone here where you get some confluence there, you get a nice reject here, you break above it, gets flipped into demand very nicely there. So once I have that general idea of where I like it on the hourly, I like to make sure that it's somewhere significant on the daily or higher time frame as well. You can see here that little zone I just drew there, strong reaction on the daily there. That might have been a misprint actually, but same idea, good reaction there, a little bit here as well. So value level there, same thing with this little zone that I drew there. You can see that was that high, this candle here. So again, another significant area. Then from there, I'll move it down to the 5 minute, just making that a little bit larger, and I will go back to all the price action that has touched the area, just to kind of get a better idea of where exactly I should have those extremes of the zone drawn. So I'll pull down to, okay, so this is when we touch that zone. Where do we actually touch? Looks like there. So I'll adjust that up just to match that touch there, and then other time we touched it here. So I'll even take this down to a 1 minute at times just to kind of get an even better idea. Pull that down to that 557 area. Move my face out the way. And that is right here. So last time we touched it, reject was right here, and that was right around where we're supported to. So right around 9.7. We'll go 9.7. And that'll just go, actually let's go to try 9.6. And I'll just play around with this like that and just find these areas I think are the best spots for it. You can see nice reject above it, supported there. So those are the extremes I like for that zone. And we can actually even take that into live today's session that we are testing the zone right now, and we can just check that to see how it's being respected. So right into the zone, just a live example. You see here, nice support here, held, swept the low of it, and that would actually been a pretty nice trade here. Tried to break below the low, trap sellers in demand, maintain, gave a nice second entry, and also we are maintaining again, same thing here, made a low, failed break below it, another nice little trap entry in demand, both pretty good spots. And that's just a very simple way of drawing those. I mean, a lot of people just kind of draw them on the hourly. That's completely fine. I like to tighten them up just a little bit on those lower time frames like I just showed, because it gets those entries a little bit more precise. And you can see here, as we're respecting it live, that they get respected pretty well. Not 100% of the time. They, sometimes they'll get run through, and sometimes, it's not going to be as pretty as this is. But I mean, more times than not, if you really take the time to go back and get these pretty accurate in terms of just tightening them up and having a good key area, hourly, daily, combined with just tightened up in the lowers, I found it does pretty often give pretty good entry opportunities like we just saw there. So that's basically how I go about it. It's the same thing for supply. One thing that I do like to do though is I like to adjust for pre-market high and pre-market low areas. So say if I had like a, just mark it up, I had like a demand down here or something like that, if we made a clear pre-market low area there, so I typically will move that up just to be able to match with that type of data. If we have a previous high or something as well, previous high day, pre-market high, pre-market low. If I have a zone pretty close to that, I usually try to adjust it a little bit to have it respect that area, because as you can see with this action, these areas get respected pretty well. And if someone's just looking at a blank chart and they don't know how to draw zones, they're just very beginner, the things they're going to notice are pre-market high, pre-market lows, previous day high, previous day lows. Like the most obvious things is what a lot of people are going to be noticing, is just my point there. So any areas like that I like to have incorporated into my zones. If I have something close, if I have like a zone down here, I'm not gonna just move it up like that. But if I have a zone, like if it's within like relatively close proximity and moving it up makes sense, and just to clarify that, I don't just move it up just to just for the fun of it. But if it does make sense and an adjustment to it matches price action, I will do that, just to kind of include some of those more obvious levels. So that's about it. That's about all I got. It's try to keep it very simple, just finding my area that I like on the hourly, moving it down to the lower time frame, just making sure it makes sense on the higher time frame, but then moving it down to the lower time frame, just tightening up, getting those zones a little more precise. Again, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just go off of just the general area if that works better for you, but I like to tighten them up a little bit better. That's what works for me, so that's how I do it personally. If you guys are interested in doing that, then this is one way to do it. So I do appreciate you guys all for coming, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.